be a bit of a weird intro. I haven't recorded an intro to a video in a long time. So forgive me if I'm a little bit awkward. The whole video is probably a little bit awkward. It's a little bit disjointed because yeah, I finally got a camera. I decided I'm gonna attempt to make some pottery videos. We'll see how this goes. So far it's been a bit of a struggle, but I'm just gonna like do some like narration with the videos, I suppose, and see, and just chat and fucking talk shit and all of that good stuff. So yeah, there's a bit of footage of me wedging the clay, and like, I mean, a lot goes into the prep for throwing these pots. I'm throwing with like really old recycled clay. It's been sitting there for a good few months now at this point. I'm getting tired of looking at terracotta. But yeah, just weighing out, just 5 pounds. Here's the old wheel, obligatory wheel shot. And I'll put on screen sort of picture of the shape that I'm trying to go for. I drew a couple of them for my show, and people seem to like them. They're not exactly like a vase, but they're not like really a bud vase either. They're like this in between of a bottle and a vase. So yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm not entirely sure what it is I'm trying to get across in this video. Maybe just like an introduction to the channel. Maybe talk about what it is I want to kind of do with the channel. My idea is to have it as a bit of a pottery journey channel. I'm by no means an expert in pottery. There's a couple of things I'm good at. There's a couple of things I really suck at. I just thought it'd be a good place to like archive any progress I make, and I feel like it'll kind of give me something to do. And now here I'm kind of showing some of the repeatable things I do say to my students when I have them down in Signal. I dubbed this one the Spock, splitting your fingers and keeping it on the outside. But yeah, like, the whole thing is to just, I don't know, record some cool footage, have a rant or two about pottery, give any tips I've come across to people who are beginning, because as much as I'm not literally a beginner, I still very much am in the mindset that I have a lot to learn. And now I'm checking a pin tool for whatever reason, but yeah, like, I have a lot to learn, and I kind of understand the mindset of people who are learning because I'm still there. So I find it easy to like share the way I'm learning with people, if that makes any sense. Probably not coming across very well in the video, but yeah. So I mean, the idea behind the YouTube channel is just like, you know, everything I'm up to with pottery. Somewhere maybe I can share tips or how I found learning something, or if I figure something out that I do think is helpful, maybe somewhere to like have it linkable for other people when I'm talking about it. But yeah, maybe I'll talk a little bit about like what I'm up to in the video now. The 5 pounders that I'm trying to throw, you can do it 2 ways, and I sort of fluctuate between the ways I throw taller pots. I do it the way I'm doing it now in the video, where I open it out slightly wide and I rip into the base to try pull the walls up tall. I can see watching back the footage that I got a bit of an undulation, a bit uneven when I was opening it out. And for the rest of the throw with this piece, I end up like not struggling with it, because you could pin tool it off later, but it definitely affected the overall outcome. Anytime I tend to get like undulations, there's always a root cause. You have a little jerky movement when you're opening it out, or you push or pull unevenly when you are trying to lift some of the clay. You get this little wobble, and every time you pull, you pull the wobble up to the top of the piece. That's why eventually, you'll see in this video, the top of the piece is fairly wobbly. And there is like a lot of ways you can counteract this. You can get in and sort of recenter the top of a piece, which is like a tricky little movement. It can be done. You could always pin tool off a little bit at the top. For me, I'm oddly very, very critical of myself when this happens to me, because I think instead of going to the fixes, the band-aids, I always try to think, okay, how do I not have the undulation happen? How do I not have it affect my throwing? So I'm always trying to think of how I can be better overall in my throwing, instead of trying to put the crutches or the band-aids on with the little fixes. So for me, I find that recycling a lot of pieces, even if they could have been something, if they have some small defect, I'm very critical of it. But I think it is a good way to help yourself improve. Like with pottery, every time you throw something, you kind of learn a little thing, and then the next time you throw an object that's similar, you employ whatever it was you learned. A little movement here, a little thicker here, or something. So you're constantly improving. So it's good to not get too attached to the pieces, especially because they have to survive through 2 firing. So here I've hit the point where I generally stop and let the clay stiffen up a little bit, because I throw with very soft clay. So yeah, we drink our 17th cup of coffee for today. Kind of let it stiffen up. And this is where the fun begins. So the undulation I talked about earlier comes back to bite me when I try to rib it out. As you can see at the top of the rim there, it's not the pot. And from this point, my camera actually died. And it took me an hour to charge it. So I flopped the first pot and threw another cylinder, and this one is didn't have as much of an undulation, and also because it was fairly because it was fairly soft, I decided to give it a bit of extra time, and I gave it a blast with the heat gun. So we were ready to continue after a fucking annoying hour of waiting for the camera to charge. So here I'm just sort of re-slipping up my hands and all, because I've cleaned off my hands, so I'm fairly dry skin. So I'm gonna re-wet slightly. Now when I usually rib things out, I try not to wet the inside very much. But the same thing, it just becomes one of those days where I'm not throwing correctly. And this is fine, there's days where you're just not your best. And if you keep at it, sometimes it can be bad for you, because you just wreck your head. And I pretty much felt it when I was throwing these. I have to give myself a bit of time to get back into all of this, because I haven't really been throwing in a month or two. And I did have a lot of shoulder pains that day, particularly bad back pains. So just the perfect storm of not your day type of pottery. But I tried to continue here. I'm just trying my best to rib it out into an okay shape. But yeah, I think ultimately it gets away from me. But that's why I wanted to show in the video that, like, it's not always success. With pottery, more so than not, it's a lot of failures, a lot of mistakes, and that's usually where you learn the most. It's sort of the little message for this video. It's like, not every day is your day. Give yourself the time to make mistakes and fuck shit up. And And here I am splitting it just to have a look. I just wasn't happy with it. It wasn't badly thrown. I just put another undulation into it. I think one of the best bits of advice I had gotten from people is, you know, you have to be in the right mood to make, and when you're not in that mood, it comes across in the pot. So yeah, I think a decent held narration, and I'll keep it short until the next video. I don't know what I'll post. Could be a bit more involved. So yeah, thanks for watching. Here's the clay just getting recycled again to be wedged again. Here's a couple of my pots I'd recently gotten out. So yeah, hopefully I'll post a few more videos, drown my sorrows with hunky dories. On a rainy old Irish day.